Hey guys, this is Market Watch from Branch 22 Capital with second video setups I took within past 2 weeks. Let's start with the Verifone system incorporated communication. On daily, we had recently this huge gap down. So first I drew this trend line going through these three pivot points. As you probably know, I usually start with drawing the parallel trend line through this pivot, the lows. You see it perfectly fits, and this pivot point is also on the trend line, but I also noticed this reference point, so I drew the trend line going to these two pivot points, saying that it could be falling wedge. Yeah, so price was going closer to the trend line. I went to 1 hour. It was this point. Stochastic went all the way to overbought. Yeah, so it was kind also of double bottom, and I caught this move here. It wasn't a big move. I believe it was 0.7, but I had 300 shares, so it was nice trade. As you see here, the price today broke down, so we may go all the way down to the trend line I drew at the beginning. Next one is Apache Corporation. You have this rising channel. I noticed that there is falling wedge forming. Also, the stochastic was it was kind of coiled. It was very bullish. Um, of course, I went closer, and it was this trend line. I was trying to get in somewhere here. Stochastic didn't go all the way to overbought position. But I get in anyway. This one, knowing that this one mm, um, is pretty volatile stock, so caught this move. I didn't go all the way up, of course. The way I figure out stop where to sell is usually take this trend line to highs, this pivot point, and I sold it somewhere here. As you see, the price kind of consolidate. It is like a small peanut formation here, and because the condition was very bullish, it broke out. Yeah, next one is Goldman Sachs Group Incorporated. We are in this big downward channel with Goldman. As you see, there was it was head and shoulder, huge head and shoulder. Yeah, I can show you interesting thing. When you take this is as a neckline, usually I will show you how to figure out how low the price go. You take the point from the neckline to the head, and you go down from the neckline the other direction down. As you see, it perfectly match the lower trend line of the channel. So there is a possibility we may go lower if this is valid setup. All right, but this week, yeah, so I drew this channel within the channel. I noticed also there was this trend line. When you go closer, yeah, you see this trend line here going through this three pivot points. I believe there was another one, and first I drew the parallel trend line here, but I noticed that we broke down. So next reference point was this pivot point here, and gap gap down, gap up of the channel. So I drew it that way pretty often. This is the technique I use, but I will describe it in a different video. Yeah, so I get in here and cut a couple of points in Goldman Sachs. Now you see the stochastic is already overbought. We are on the trend line. Yeah, but the daily is very bearish. So I'll wait till another rotation, till the daily stochastic will go overbought. Then I'll consider going long again. Tyson Food was classic downward channel on 1 hour chart. Yeah, so this trend line, parallel trend line through this pivot point. Also notice that there was inverted slanted kind of head and shoulders. Yeah, I went somewhere here. I believe I drew another trend line here, and as soon as I noticed that the second kind of shoulder is confirmed, I went in hoping for a breakout, and exactly what happens. What happened? Now you see the strong support, and today it is very strong, very strong position, because we broke out the upward trend line resistance. Tyson, okay, one of my favorite, China Southern Airlines, another classic. Yeah, so you have downward channel through this reference points. Yeah, and stochastic was overbought. I believe I get in on 16. There was another downward day, but I didn't get stop out. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we still. I knew that the trend line may be still valid, and I got couple. And I got this move up. As you see, stochastic with this one is also kind of coiling. The same situation like with the Goldman. I will wait till stochastic get overbought, and also I will consider getting long again on this trend line. Two shorts I took, Altria Group. Yeah, so we have this huge rising wedge. So each time we get close to the upper trend line with oversold stochastic, I took, this is the first time I took the short, second time and third time it was the smallest, I believe it wasn't very profitable short, because I noticed that this position is very strong, as you see today we broke out from this trend line from rising wedge, which is pretty unusual and means that this thing is really strong. And last but not least, Corning Incorporated. Yeah, this is the point when I took short, noticing this strong resistance, also the downward trend line from rising wedge, and boom, exactly. Of course, stochastic was oversold, and I caught this down move. Here I drew possibility of new channel. You have these two reference points, and when you drew parallel trend line with this pivot point, we are right now on the trend line, but we already overbought on this 1 hour, but daily is still not still far from overbought position, so we still may go down, I believe. Yeah, I would say I would take this as a reference point, especially here on daily. You have 200 moving average, which is strong support. So here the Corning may be ready and set up as long. Alright, I'm trying to keep it short. There was a couple of other setups, but if you want to get notified about the setups and get alerts, follow us on Twitter. You will see the Twitter on the screen. Alright, if you like it, in a few minutes I will post another video with watch list and setups for next week, starting on, I believe, 27. Alright, be good.